In Letterland today, we're going to start by going over the sound and spelling sort from yesterday. Okay, so yesterday you were to identify words with the magic E pattern. So we want to look in this first column. So stove, we see the O-V-E, the long O, Mr. O, consonant, and a magic E. And once you say it, put it in the column. I want you to say the word again, stove, so you know that you put it in the correct column. Good. Looking for another Mr. O and a magic E. It's close. Okay. The next one under this column is closed. Okay. The next one is whole. So we have that Mr. O, consonant, and the magic E at the end. The same goes for the other word, whole. And we have, this one's a little tricky. When there is a digraph in the word, we can also use that as a magic E. There's still a magic E there. If there's a digraph, which is TH, between the O and the magic E. Okay, that's a special rule. Close would be under there. If you didn't get it, it's okay. Go ahead and add it to your work. The next one, magic E pattern, is U, consonant E. So we put rude, and then you should have excused. The next magic E pattern is with a long I, consonant, silent E at the end. Invited, invited. Right there. Okay, the next part of your activity yesterday were to put words in the column that had a suffix ending with ed. And then you were to put the base word next to it. So what was the word before ed was added to that word? So the first one that should be under there is closed. Okay. And that, whoops. And that base word should be close. Okay. So that's the word that you would put over here. Okay. The next one with the suffix ed is invited. So there's an ed added right here at the end. And the base word would be to invite. You don't have to circle these on your paper unless it helps you. But this is just to show you the base word, invite. And I know that it already has an E in it, but we're going to go over that rule today. The last word is excused. And we did use these words on the other side, but they can go in more than one column. So ed is at the end, and the base word for excused is excuse. Okay, so that would go under the base word column, excuse. I hope going over the answers helped you understand the magic E patterns that you should have been looking for. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our quick coding and teaching you a new rule. So let's, clear the screen, clear all drawings. Okay. So the drop the E rule. So this is when if a word ends in a silent magic E, like skate, you drop the E before adding your vowel suffix. So the one we've been working on this week is ED. So if I skated last night with my friends, I would drop that E because it's a magic E. You drop that and then you add the ED back, the whole entire suffix back. So we're going to look at that today when we code. You can, when you drop the magic E, you can add different vowel suffixes like skate-er, skating, and you would still drop that E and add the suffix. But today we're just going to work with ED. So just to read this down here, whoops. Says the suffix ing can take place of magic E with its own magic sparks. So also ED and ER. Here we go. Let's work on some quick coding. I'm going to do these with you. So let's go ahead and move this down here. Okay. So remember we want to dot our vowels. So we have the O and the E. We might need to see a little darker. O and E. And then the next thing, circle prefixes or suffixes. There are not any in this word. So then we box consonant digraphs. Do not see any in this word either. The next thing is to bracket syllables. So let's say the word stove, and I want you to clap. Stove. You only have to clap one time. So that's one syllable. So we're going to make one big bracket. Okay? So we're going to do the whole entire word, stove. And the next thing is to label syllable types with the initial, so label it underneath the bracket. And so we have been working with our magic E patterns. So we have the O, the long O consonant, and the magic E. So that is going to be a magic E syllable. So we put the letter E underneath of it. So that's when we code, and we're on number 6 now, code and mark vowel sounds. So we know that this is a long O, because when we say stove, Mr. O, stove. So we put that straight line across for a long vowel. And then this is our magic E. And remember when we do the magic E, we put the arrow back to that long O. Okay. And then there are not any other silent letters in this name. And then the last thing is to read the word stove. Okay, that's all you have to do for that one. We're going to do the next one together. Let's say close. So the first thing we do is we'd go back to number 1, dot vowels. So we have O and E. The next thing, circle prefixes and suffixes. I do not see any at the beginning or end of this word. So then we're going to go ahead and bracket our syllable. So let's say it. Close. Okay, so that's just one syllable. So we're going to bracket the entire word. There we go. Then we're going to label the syllable types. So we see this magic E pattern with the long O, Mr. O, with the silent E, close. You cannot really hear the E. And have that S, the consonant in the middle. So let's put a line over Mr. O for close. And then let's put a slash through the E. Arrow over there. Oops. You know what I forgot to do was mark what the syllable was. So that's a magic E syllable since there's a magic E pattern. And that is all for this one. All right, now we're going to move to the next word, close. Closed. Closed. So we got our vowels, so it's O and E. Circle prefixes and suffixes. So we just learned about the suffix ed. So we're going to circle the ed. Okay. And then it says bracket syllables. So if we say closed, we see there's a little bit of a break. We just hear that close sound, and then there's a suffix at the end, so we don't have to bracket that in. It's already labeled, okay? So we have closed. We've noticed that there is a magic E pattern in here. The O, S, E. So we would need to put our E at the bottom, put a line over top, and since this E is already been labeled inside of the suffix, we would just put an arrow over to the O, just like that. And that's all you would do for closed. This is different when you have a suffix at the end. The next word is whole. Oh, so let's look at whole. We dot our vowels O and E. And then we circle prefixes and suffixes. There are not any in this word. Box consonant digraphs, there are not any in this word. Whole. Bracket syllable. So let's say the word whole. Whole. Okay, that is just one syllable. And then we need to label our syllable type. So we notice that there is a Mr. O, a long O, a consonant, and a magic E. So we know that's a magic E pattern. So we put E underneath. And then we need to label. We're on to number 6 now. Code and mark vowel sounds. So we're going to do our vowels. We have a long O with our magic E. Put an arrow over to that long O. Okay, that's what you do here. And then the last one is whole. Whole. So we're going to dot our vowels. And then there are not any prefixes or suffixes. And we're going to move. We're not going to mark anything else until we do the brackets. So let's do bracket syllables. Whole. It's still like the other word, whole, so it's one syllable. Okay. But then let's mark, we need to code and mark the vowel sounds. So we see our magic E pattern, the O, long O, consonant, magic E. So we put a magic E syllable. Label that under there. Label our vowel sounds and magic E, arrow over. And then the last one, this is one we haven't really got to, is slash through silent letters. So when we read this word whole, this W is silent. So we're going to put a line through that. Okay. And that is all you have to do today. I'm going to go to the next slide. I want you to refer back to this if you have any questions. Today I want you to declare this again. Okay, I'm gonna give you the same ones to try today, and then I want you to go back if you have any questions or need help. Go back to where I did the answers. Oh, I didn't save it. Oh no. Okay, I will add that up in Shobi, the answers for you today. Or you can go back in the video, actually. Sorry, rewind the video, go back to it, pause it, and if you have any questions, let me know, okay? Or let your homeroom teacher know. So you're gonna have the same ones we went over today, and I want you to now try them on your own first, and then go back in the video if you have any questions. Hope you have a great day, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys soon.